In this video, I'm going to show where the create intersection function is located and the basic premise of how it operates. So it's quite specialised. So it's used to create intersections for several corridors that intersect or join together. Might be in the form of a crossroads or a T-junction or a Y-junction, or for the creation of a roundabout. In this particular project there are two road designs or corridors present. On the surfaces ribbon I can use something like the surface slicer view just to show the shape of the two roads relative to the OGL in green. It's on the corridors ribbon that create intersection is located. So you're going to have to pick the corridors that are going to form the intersection. So in Project Explorer I've got listed the corridors Road 1 and Road 2, both selected here. I'm going to give this intersection a name, again just for the project database, so I'll call it I1. It will create a junction based on the intersection type, so whether it's T, Y, crossroads, etc. Or ticking the create roundabout button will obviously create a roundabout instead of a junction. So I hit apply. And essentially a new surface, a new finish surface will be created based on the default roundabout template parameters. In this case it is possible to save the parameters and reuse them via this option here, intersection template. But this is just use the project defaults to generate the roundabout as shown. Go back to the surface slicer. You can see how it's created a roundabout that is tilting slightly based on the input levels of the corridor design. All of the parameters in this case for the roundabout form of intersection are shown here in Project Explorer. So you can see some more general properties here. So it's a circular roundabout. It is possible to have non-circular. The radius of 8 meters, lane width 6, the lane slope 3. You can see the slope direction arrows radiating outwards here. The width of the inner shoulder, the slope of the inner shoulder, and so on. So we could change something here. Let's make this roundabout a little bit smaller. Maybe let's make that 5 for the lane width. You can see it dynamically update, and the radius perhaps 7. So any edits that are made to the parameters will cause the new surface to be retriangulated on the fly. So we saw the tilting there of the roundabout in the surface slicer. If you don't want tilting applied, then no tilt can be defined. So there's a whole host of options here for the roundabout or the intersection shown. The legs are essentially the elements or the parts of the corridors coming in to the intersection. So leg 1 is up here, leg 2 here, leg 3 and leg 4 going anti-clockwise in this case. The parameters for the leg are shown here. The connection will be the connection between the legs. So between 1 and 2 the connection would be this area here going around. You can see parameters again for as well as the legs, the connections as well. So whether it's a contra inner circle type connection between the two legs, touch roundabout with a double radius, Okay, so these radii can be adjusted here. As to make them both 17, for instance, you can see them update in real time on the screen as the surface is rebuilt. Let's take a 3D view and we can see how we have the road corridors coming along and intersecting with the new surface that's been created for the roundabout. The other type of intersection is a non-roundabout type, so a TY or a crossroads. You can change the type here to a junction, and a junction will be formed. Same principle, we have the legs coming in and the connections between the legs. So leg 1 is still here at the top in this project, and the connection between leg 1 and leg 2 shown here. It has triangulated outside the intersection surface. That could be left as is if it's required, or a trim could be made of the triangles to take them into the actual edge of the surface model where the connection strings are. So we have a connection string here, for instance, we could use to form a perimeter. Again, similar options but different for the intersection, the junction type of intersection as opposed to the roundabout, as shown here. In this video then, we've looked at where the create intersection function is located within the corridors ribbon of Trimble Business Centre, the options that are available for the creation of the intersection, whether it's corridor, T-junction, Y-junction or crossroads, like the one shown here on the screen, and that the principle of the junction is that it's defined by legs coming into the junction or the roundabout, as the case may be, and then in addition to the overall parameters for the junction and the legs, there's then parameters for how the various legs to connect together as well to form the junction as a whole.